Hey everybody, and welcome back. So glad you could make it again to another video. And today we're gonna have some fun and make one of our family's favorite recipes. Hello family and friends, I'm Susan and welcome to my home. Hey everybody, it's Susan and welcome back again. Glad you could make it for another video. And today we are going to be doing another family favorite, cube steak and gravy. Extremely easy to make. I put it in the crock pot, or you can do the Instant Pot. If you put it in the crock pot, 6 to 8 hours on low, or 3 to 4 hours on high. Instant Pot, about 2 hours is all you need. So, let me get my ponytail up, and let me show you how to make this dish. So let's get to cooking. And for this recipe, I've got about 2 pounds of cube steak. I've got some olive oil to brown it in, salt and pepper, a beef bouillon cube, Lipton onion soup mix, and 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. We'll see if that's where it stands. I may add another bouillon, I may add another cream of mushroom once I get it all in the crock pot, and we'll see how well it looks and does. So let's go ahead and get dredging this in some all-purpose flour or self-rising, it doesn't seem to matter. And then get it into the pan to brown up. And I'm going to add some salt and some pepper to the flour. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to the pan. Because I do want to get a little bit of a crust on them before I put them in the crock pot. You can do them without doing this, but I do like to get a little bit of a crust on them. And all you do is basically just make sure that they're well separated, and then put them in the flour mixture. You don't have to get them extremely coated. I've got the pan almost warm enough. I think I'm going to set this one to the side while I get a few more dredged real quick. And it's just getting a light coating of flour on it so you can get a little bit of crust with that flour. And I don't think I'm going to be able to fit all of them in the pan, by no means at one time. But I think I'm probably going to be able to get at least 3 in each side. And it's getting warm enough. I'm going to go ahead and put them into the pan. Get my other 3 pieces dredged. And then I'll bring you back whenever I go to flip these, when they're brown enough. And I just flipped the cube steak. Now you don't want to cook them all the way in the pan. You want the crock pot to do that, but you do want a little bit of a sear on them. You could do a lot sear, turn it on really high and sear them real quick, or a medium sear, which I've just got it on the low sear. I'm going to do the other side, get the other ones, and then get everything in the crock pot. And I'll show you what else I put in there. And while I'm searing off these steaks, I'm glad you could join me. And don't forget to subscribe. We would love it if you would like to join our channel's family. Usually whenever I do my Friday cooking videos, it's usually Sunday whenever I'm actually doing the cooking. So we just came back from the camper. I'm getting everything ready for a Sunday supper, and cube steak is what's on the menu plan, which is what I'm doing right now. So if you have any questions or anything, leave me a comment. I also have an email that you could leave it to, and a P.O. box if you'd like to send happy letters or mail or anything you'd like for me to get. You can send it there also. So let's get back to the food. Okay, and the cube steak has been browned on both sides, and it's time to put them in the crock pot. And I am going to go ahead and put the package of onion soup mix in here. I'm also going to put the 1 bouillon beef cube in here. And I'll try to put it down toward the bottom. That way whenever the liquid gets to it, it'll melt pretty easy. And then the last thing is the can of cream of mushroom soup. Let me go ahead and scoop that in real quick. Okay, and now I'm going to add 1 or 2 cans of water to this, and then just put it in there. And I want to make sure that all of the meat is completely covered with water. That way I don't have any dry spots. Move them around to where they get completely covered. There we go. And of course mix that onion soup mix around. And I've got this on high right now. We're going to keep this on high. I'm going to check it in about 3 hours and see if the steaks are nice and tender. Because you don't want them completely falling apart, which I've done many times before. You just want them to be where they're nice and tender. So it's set for high. I'm going to put the lid on and we'll check back on it in about 3 hours and see how it's coming along. And this has been on high for about 3 hours. And look at that. The meat is just falling apart tender. It is ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and get this out and get this plated up, and I'll show you what it looks like. If you want to thicken this up into a gravy, you can either take some of this out into a container and add a cornstarch slurry, or you can add a little bit of cornstarch to it right here in the crock pot, which is what I think I'm going to try real quick and see if I can get it to thicken up just a little bit more. Okay, I just added the cornstarch slurry in. I'm going to leave it in here for just a few minutes, or just about a minute, and see if it'll thicken up. It looks like it's already starting to thicken just a little bit. It isn't quite as runny, which is great. And I'm going to go ahead and get this plated up for you so you can kind of see what it's going to look like. And I'm going to put a nice big piece of meat on the plate right there. And I'm going to add some mashed potatoes to it. Okay, mashed potatoes are on. Now let me add a little bit of this gravy, juice, whatever you want to call it, that I put a little bit of cornstarch slurry in. There we go. And all I need is some green beans. Okay, and here we go. Cube steak with some gravy, some mashed potatoes, and green beans. There it is. And let's take a taste and see what we think. All right. Yes, it's tender. It's not falling apart though, but it is very tender. And look at that. How beautiful. Let's see what it tastes like. That's hot, but that is good. A little salt and pepper. If you're a ketchup person, a little ketchup if you want it. And you are ready for some good eating. And that's what's for dinner. Sunday night. Cube steak and gravy. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, the cube steak and gravy. It is one of the family favorites again. A good Sunday night supper meal. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We would love to have you a part of our channel's family. Until next time, have a great week. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram or Pinterest, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos.